just a light on here. So if you get another closer to get some good shots, I'm gonna do a background with that real quick.
Okay.
So.
High School and is currently a student at LCC. She loves reading and writing and would like to be English as second language teacher. Is that accurate? Come up this way. So you need to hold the mic close to your lips, though, please. Okay?
Good evening, my name is Emily Augustine, and this is my mother, Monica Avila. We're here to explain our side of the horrible tragedies that surpassed on the morning of November 5th to us and the people who were taken and their families. What happened that morning was horrific. My mother was not stopped because they were looking for a specific person, not because they had a warrant, and not because they had reasonable suspicion, but because she was Latina and driving a van. It wasn't because she was interfering with our investigation, which most people would think was what happened. No. She was simply driving. It was racial profiling. They were not stopping people. They were stopping people of color driving to work in vans and trucks. They didn't identify themselves as immigration until after they threw her to the ground and were kneeling on top of her, putting her in handcuffs. She had her green card in her pocket the whole time, and they never once asked for it or her ID. They looked at her real ID, which they said was not enough proof, and they looked her up in the system after she was arrested and after I insisted she was a legal resident. Even then, they kept asking me if it was valid, expired, or even real. They lied to me and said that, and they were trying to belittle me into giving up trying to get her released. After I was able to prove it, they still took a long time to release her. The physical pain will go away faster than the trauma we have. It'll stay with us forever. Every time we go out and we see a semi-suspicious vehicle, our hearts start racing. However, we consider ourselves lucky to be able to still be together as a family while others are separated and crying for the chance to see their loved ones again. Our hearts go out to the community. They just came in and terrorized our people. Even the people who have work permits, green cards, and are citizens are scared because now the color of our skin makes us targets to be assaulted and kidnapped. They're afraid to leave their work and they're afraid to leave their houses and go to work, and parents are scared to send their children to schools. We're not sure how to provide advice for safer interactions because the way ICE is acting is unpredictable, unethical, and overly aggressive. They just take now and ask questions later. It's upsetting, but if we stick together, we can hope and pray for a better future. We also wanted to express gratitude for the immense support we've received from the entire community. And we had no idea how many people would support us. It's beautiful to see all your faces tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily and Juanita.
I'm really bad at talking, but I'm really bad at putting stomach or saying the right words. that I really appreciate them for choosing us. It's really, I really appreciate it as my daughter because she was so good. If she wasn't there that day, they would have taken me. And I have a little one at home and she's like, I kept yelling at them, I'm so please don't do this because I have a 7-year-old. And that makes the pain really bad. And they were putting their knees all over me. I kept yelling at them, making realize they was not listening. And I'm glad I'm with I'm able to tell my story and be with my kids, like other people who are just like seeing myself. It's really, really sad. I just want to thank everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I really, really appreciate your support. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I mean, you remove any sort of proof that this is a violent regime. At this time, we're going to try to move along so we can get everything we thought we could fit in with every T crossed and every I dotted. I would like to introduce the tireless team from ROP, Rural Organizing Project. Their office is at 632 Main Street. They will be sharing their experience, the facts, and what we can do to help as a community afterwards. The Rural Organizing Project is made up of an autonomous, volunteer-run groups across rural Oregon. They'll tell you more about that. So we have Abelio, who we go to too much. We have stretched him too thin. We go to Stephanie, the same. And I believe they have a couple of other members with them. So whoever wants to go first, Abelio or Stephanie?
Hello everyone, my name is Older Mike Thank you so much for being here. This is really great to see, and this is what community is like. So thank you guys so much. My name is Savelia. I work with the Rural Organizing Project. I graduated high school in 2019. And also, I'm from Guatemala. I'm part of the community from Guatemala that speaks an indigenous language called Hmong. And I'm also an immigrant myself. I was brought to the We also went through the process of getting asylum, which is not easy. My mother was taking her off in the morning, which a lot of my people here. And harvest flowers, plants, and things. When I was the pet with government use programs, it's hard for them to get permits. So collaborating with them so we can help them to think how to the food on the table. And this conversation I understood studies were found in the church, here in Cottage, people really young people who come you heard that story tells what happened. No human being is equal. Second asylum is a human right guaranteed by the Geneva Convention. People have right to safeguarding working with criminal beings, threatening their lives, and to seek safety in their country. What happened here on Wednesday was a clear violation of both international law and safeguard state law. Even if people are criminals as the right loves to say, this is America and we must do everything we can to preserve due process. As was created in 2020, they have terrorized families ever since, under both Democratic and Republican administration. Under the Trump administration, they have become criminality force, ICE gang, and will be abolished. So I feel like a lot of family members are going to come in and
Yeah, sorry, I forgot I stole your AirPod and I'm like, oh. Yeah.
Is it safe to say you think, that's not what shouldn't be happening. Everyone should be safe to go to school. So we're working with Friends of Democracy to support families protected and also to do whatever we can to support their community. So this is going to start with bringing into Cottage at each program level for the program to support money or levels of teaching schools, non-stop community groups, and housing and community outreach police officers and rural origins and beyond. Regardless of their growing level of expression interest. We know what it is for, which is their family, but we're figuring out together. This is proof that we must bring at least 3.5% of the population nationwide into mass involvement civil assistance to change the tide of authoritarianism and get toward a new just enough. As we said, first day this week, over 2 community centers.
Yeah, I recorded most of that speech that she did, so we can definitely use that tomorrow because that was really good.
Each community
Yeah,
is growing its base of record growth, bringing in 2.5% of programming, town by town and county by county. In Cottage Grove, this is 375 people. Every members and groups
Should we get another battery?
as Cottage served Westtown in many ways right now. In response to last week's suggestion, we have set up a fund to support the families impacted by the rain. We are collecting needs from them as well as donations. We have set up a fund to work to support the families impacted by the detentions in Wayne County last week. Who need assistance with housing, food, hospital bills, and other costs. The link to that is rp.org/county hospital. And we're also doing a house we're also looking for volunteers to support with locking up the ice. A component for folks who need to go to the ice stations or Wayne County Courthouse or even doctor's appointments because everyone's really cool right now. Francis Connect is also using other ways to support. Chat with them if you have other ways you want to contribute. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Adele. How many languages do you speak? 3 languages. And I'm struggling with my but this is just so remarkable. So now, the agenda had changed after we had printed it out in the last 15 minutes before I got here. So, I believe that at this time, Representative Val Foyle is here.
Oh, I didn't know that. That sucks. It ends at 6 though.
Can I get the mic?
Yeah.
I'll do the same thing. Yep. Can you hear me? Mm-hmm. Cool. Sounds good. Yeah, I might have the interview with the mother and daughter. I mean, it goes until 6, so I might go up to them and say, hey, like after the 6, because they're kind of standing watching the vigil. But they agreed to do the interview, so I just got to find them and locate them after stuff. So, but I'll let you guys know when those interviews are happening so that you guys can record.
Preparing to do my first, I had never been to a question in my life, and it's not even me I was fighting for. And we did it, and they got there, and we were successful, and they met and made their appointment. So there are plenty of opportunities to be
Okay.
to help our community members.
Yeah, because it's the mom and the daughter that are in the video that we're showing. So.
A little bit more independent than me, so I'm quite colorful. While everyone gets a candle, and we make a really big circle, you can either make it in front of the actually, in front of it or around the gazebo, whatever works for you. Audrey really has her heart set on a circle, but if you just want to gather in a big group, that'd be great too. Whatever's easiest, because we're going to be entertained by Melanie, who is
Okay, cool.
performing / Alice, the woman in the Cottage Theater, and a wonderful singer, and she told me the 2 songs, but I can't remember. So, what we're going to do is, hat is going around together, so we go on.
Cottage Grove Friends and Democracy. Yeah, so right now the vigil is obviously going on. I want to say there are around 70 to 80 people that are currently here. We just heard from someone who was singing for the vigil. Now, the group Cottage Grove Friends of Democracy have put on this candlelight vigil as a response to the recent ICE incidents that took place in town last week. This video that was taken by the Rural Organizing Project shows a person being detained by ICE here in the Cottage Grove area. This vigil will have speakers talking about the people who were detained as well as their current whereabouts, which will be then followed by this vigil that we are seeing right here. Now, we did hear from the mother and the daughter that were in that video describing their experience and the fear that they had, and especially that daughter seeing her mom on the ground. It was a very, very emotional piece that she was sharing, as well as the people that took that video. The ROP also spoke as well tonight. Now I'm again here reporting in Cottage Grove. I'm Gabrielle Bowman. Back to you at the desk. Yep.
Alright. Do you want to go try and find her? Okay.
But I
Are they coming out here or?
I told. I'm gonna try to call.
This light is really annoying because I can really crank it, but then like
It.
you would be so bright that you can't see anything. But this is like on its dimmest to get the background as bright as it can be, but it's like
Yeah. I'm gonna call in and see. Oh, I just felt my knee pop. Oh.
in the 6:30.
I don't know. He just. I mean, I texted on that phone, so if you check that phone, it'll probably say. No. like that entire post earlier today about stuff, you know who commented on it?
Who?
My neighbor. Back home in Bremerton, Washington.
What'd they say?
That they're struggling with healthcare, which, yeah. We're also my landlord and my neighbor. I think that's a little bit of conflict of interest.
We're also in Eugene.
She technically, she went to school here and lived there for quite a while. I heard a "Can you hear me?" Now I can. I can now. This is Gabby.
What do you mean? Like an interview? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Like with the two people that were speaking? Oh, with
Do we have a hit time?
Oh, yeah. What time is she?
I can go grab her.
Do you want to talk to Val Hoyle as well?
Yes, yes.
We'll go get her. Yeah.
We're also going to talk to Val Hoyle as well, as Val Hoyle's here. Oh. 6:02? Okay, cool. Wow, okay. Perfect. We'll have, wow, okay. I'm going to have interviews with the mom and the daughter that were in that video, as well as Val Hoyle. Yep, writing it down. Okay, where was I? There we go.
We should do Val first, because she's probably getting into the before.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Am I not? I'll figure it out.
He said he's going to bring her over here. Let's stay on you the whole time.
Yeah. It was great. I enjoyed it.
And NBC 16. Both.
604.
Yep, I got the question written down. Yeah, yeah.
They own a Guatemalan cantina, right next to the post office. And I went in there to give them red cards. so cool. And she said that we are friends forever now. Hi, you. So you said the rest of you are? Yeah.
Consumer boycotts, filming ICE activities for future litigation. Why did there need to be masks? If there were laws there.
Yeah, so the Cottage Grove Friends of Democracy were the ones that held this vigil as a response to those ICE incidents that happened last week. And the vigil is just now wrapping up. People are heading home right now. But when it comes to that vigil, the emotional response is pretty significant. So this video that was taken by the Rural Organization Project shows a person being detained by ICE here in the Cottage Grove area. This vigil will have speakers talking about the people who were detained as well as their current whereabouts, which was then followed by a vigil and a moment of silence, which also just wrapped up. Now, some of those speakers that were here were the mom and the daughter that were in that video that we just saw, talking about the fear that they experienced in that moment and what was going through their minds of what to do in that specific moment, as well as we heard from a couple other people, as well as the Rural Organization Project as well here. So everything is wrapping up right now. So I'm going to send it back to you in the newsroom, Brandon. She's happening now, and then I'm going to have her daughter as well.
We haven't talked to her yet.
So, no. Sorry, I should have communicated that. So, I'm going to go grab those interviews. Thanks. Bye.
Cool.
Okay.
See if we can find her in the dark.
Yeah, perfect.
I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to find you guys. It's so dark.
Okay, I want this for socials as well. So if you could,
Yeah,
you can.
Yeah, I got it.
I have no idea.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing well. Today, so
Yeah.
last week, so
Yeah, it's perfect weather.
it is. Comparatively to last week, we were out on a live shot on Monday and it was pouring down rain, and I got some people and some comments the next day of like, that poor reporter, and I was like, that's just my job.
Could have been wind. There was like this one Irish reporter, and there was like a windstorm, and she was out. I think it was in Sligo, and literally like a stop sign came up,
Yeah.
and whacked her upside the head.
Oh, and then they're like, nope, just keep going back to
Just
reporting.
keep going, and she gets back up.
Yep. It's how we roll. All right, I'll let you.
Yeah, we're good to go.
We good? All right. So obviously, I just want to first start off with why you're out here today, why you're out here at the vigil, and why it was important for you to come out here.
So this is my community, right? This is the district I represent, and we have so many people here. Juanita, who is with a green card, who is a legal resident, who is such a core part of our community. She has a store that really is a center, right, in our community in Cottage Grove here. She was not afforded due process. Now, I took an oath to uphold the Constitution, right? And that includes the 5th and 14th Amendment, which allows for due process. She had her green card in her pocket, was never asked to show it. Had her daughter not been there, she would have been picked up. She was thrown on the ground, is utterly inappropriate. If we're talking about picking up violent criminals who've committed crimes while they're here, that's one thing. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about terrorizing people who have followed the rules, right? Who either are here on a green card or are going through the process, right? And it starts with this. It starts with, we're going to pick up people who committed violent crimes. Who can disagree with that? I certainly won't. But then it goes to, now we're going to pick up people, we're going to terrorize people who just happen to look like they're immigrants. And then where does it stop, right? Where does it stop? People who disagree with the president. I mean, Homeland Security literally just put out on their website the word remigrate. Remigrate is a white supremacist term that was used in Nazi Germany. And nobody's talking about that. That is not about getting rid of the worst of the worst. Juanita is the best of the best that we have in this community. And so it was important for me to show up to say, I took an oath to uphold the Constitution. Everyone is afforded the right to due process. That is worth fighting for, because if we don't fight for people like Juanita, who's next?
And I just want to hear, obviously you heard from her tonight, you heard from her daughter, you heard from a bunch of people that were obviously here at this vigil. What are you taking from what you've heard and, what people are saying about this, and what are you taking to take back to the office, taking back to Washington?
So we spoke with Juanita and her daughter and a number of people from the Rural Organizing Project earlier today. And, immigrants are afraid. I've also been dealing with a situation in Newport where one of our helicopters that is used to rescue people off the coast of Newport, right, where the waves are high, the water is cold, people can't wait an hour, right on the cusp of our crab season. They took the helicopter out so that they can build an ice facility. Right, so we're putting lives in danger. So I dealt with that today. I talked with Juanita and her daughter. Fundamentally, we need to be focused, and as I am the federal representative, what we want to do is contact, Homeland Security, work with officials at ICE to say, if you're going to do things, we must follow the law. We must make sure that people have access to due process, have the opportunity to show their green card or their papers, right? Have the opportunity to have access to their lawyers, right? And to let people know that we're here, and my office is here to help them with any federal agency, including with ICE, including Homeland Security, so that we can actually have a conversation and get through the fear. But immigrants are afraid, right? Our Hispanic constituents, people that live here, whether they are here legally or not, are afraid. And that we're a nation of laws, and we have to stand up against this. That's why I'm here.
Well, thank you so much for answering those questions. I do have one side question that's coming in hot from my newsroom. We just wanted to know, obviously, the government funding bill is being voted on right now, and we just want to know if that is going to be a yes or a no from you, and what you have to say specifically on the federal funding bill.
So here's the thing. There's a number of Democratic senators that decided that they wanted to open the government. Yes, that's important. And what we were holding up for was to get an extension on the healthcare subsidies so that we can work to make sure that people can afford access to healthcare. Right here in Cottage Grove, I have a constituent who is paying $87 a month right now for a bronze plan, high deductible plan on the ACA. She will have to pay over $1,000 a month in January. So that's what we were looking for. Usually you have negotiations. None of that has happened. So the 10 Democrats that folded, they could have done that the first week. But now here we are. We're going into 7 weeks. They have decided that they wanted to open the government. They wanted people not to be in pain. The administration has made it clear the more pain they can cause, they will, to not take responsibility to fix our health care costs. So I'll be going to D.C. tomorrow I will be a no, not just because we didn't negotiate anything for health care, but also because 7 senators that were wiretapped because they were part of planning the insurrection on January 6th put in a provision that will allow them to sue the American people for millions of dollars and put millions of dollars in their pocket. That got shoved in there, so that's another reason why I'm voting no. But I am glad that Mike Johnson will finally call the House into session, which normally happens during a shutdown. We're supposed to be in D.C. because then Adelita Grijalva from Arizona will be sworn in, and she will be the 218th signature to release the Epstein files and have the kind of transparency that the American people deserve.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with us tonight and taking your time out. Really appreciate it. And for that last question as well.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here.
Yes,
Appreciate
absolutely.
it. All right, take care.
I was covering the healthcare stuff today that I got kind of reworked onto this. So
Look at the New York Times. They literally added this piece in that 7 senators can sue for millions of dollars. That wasn't, like, not only did we not get anything, but a promise for a vote, but then they actually threw something else in there that will allow them to personally pocket millions of dollars. I want to play poker with these people because they're really bad at negotiations. They're the worst.
Oh.
Anyway, thank you
Well,
so much.
thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, take care.
You guys can finish up your conversation. I want to interrupt. It's been shots, and I got to do what tell me to do. I'm like, I want to talk to you guys. You guys are the most significant and important piece of this all. So, all right, let me get this.
Yeah. Because you're short.
Want me on this side again?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
All right. We're good.
Perfect. Is the phone look good?
Yes.
Perfect.
Are you going to ask like questions or?
Yeah, so
Okay, good.
first I'm just going to start off with your guys' names and how you spell them, and then just again kind of an overall of what happened, kind of describing the situation you guys went through, and again how it impacted your guys' lives and what you think needs to be done about it is kind of the main general gist of this. So nothing scary, nothing like that, just kind of again recapping and wanting to hear your story and get that story out there. So, you ready?
Yep.
Just to start off with the test levels on my mic, can you guys both spell your first and your last names for me, please? I'll start.
My name is Emily Agustin, Emilyagustin.
And I just want you guys to kind of, again, we saw the many times. We've talked with ROP. I just want to hear from your guys' point of view what happened, what was going through your minds, what just, again, that entire experience and how it made you feel, just, again, as a whole, just recapping what happened.
And that Wednesday,
I was just in bed, and then I received a phone call saying that that somebody got pulled over, and since I'm usually like translating for people here, go find.
Am I? It's on.
Oh, okay.
I'm catching.
Yeah, okay, it just went off for a second. Sorry.
Sorry, apologize about that.
I said, do you wanna come with me because somebody got pulled over, and and she said, okay, I'm getting up. So I got on my van and she got on her car. Went, and so I was driving around and I see all this out of state license plate. Like crazy going that way and this way, and I went to see if I could see the car to the pond, and also it's really expensive. So I was going home already that way on Highway 99, and then I was talking to my daughter and I said, oh, I think I got pulled over by the cops. So I hung up on her, and I pulled to the small street in there. Then I opened my windows because I was thinking, oh my God, I got a citation, and then I was thinking, what was I speeding, and that's what was going to my mind that day. And when all of a sudden I see a guy coming in and to my door, and the window was down. He said, we are the police, and I said, you are not the police. And then another comes, and where were you born? I don't know how they put me to the floor, and I panicked, trying to handcuff. And I said, you're not you're not police officers." And I kept saying, "And why are you doing this?" And then I was just screaming my daughter's name, hoping that she would see me. And when I saw that she got there, I said, I was telling her, I was still screaming. So they dragged me, they picked me up, and oh well, I was on the floor. They just said, because I kept asking, and then they said that they were immigration and that I was illegal, and I told them that you're just assuming that I'm illegal. So they picked me up and put me in the car, and when they threw me in the car, I just managed to stand up, and I couldn't breathe because I had a asthma attack or a cough attack, and I was like trying so hard to breathe. So I got up, and there was a little something there where I could breathe, and they just said to calm down. And while all this was happening, that's when they were just while I was sitting there and inside the car, that's they were got there, and to say that part of hers, that part, because I don't know what then to say it, what they were telling her when we got there.
Um, when I had got there, ground. In the video, you can like that's when I like bright red jacket, and my heart just like dropped because I knew that there was no reason for them to like be doing that, and so when I got out of my car. Has her green card. I know she has her green card somewhere on her, and they just told me to stay where I was, and they kept saying that they were gonna arrest me for obstruction, because I was so upset there because I knew there was no reason for them to be doing that, and throughout they told me that I had asked them why, and they told me that they told me they told me that they verified who she was before they arrested her, but I know that's not true. They didn't have her name or her ID. While I had gotten there, they were going through her wallet and they pulled out her real ID, and they said that it wasn't proof enough, so they were using that to look through their system on their phones. And they lied to me, and they also said that she had a border crossing warning to her name, and they throughout the whole interaction they just kept asking me if like her or if her green card was real, if it was valid, and all that, and I just lost my train of thought, and oh my goodness, and
They couldn't find the mic. Said that you can call Daniel.
oh yeah, I asked if I could call my brother because I knew that he had a picture of her green card on his phone, and they told me no, we're not gonna bring other people into this and cause a whole scene, and and then and I asked them if I could go to her and like get her phone and like talk to her and see like if I could find a picture of her green card because I didn't know she had it on her person. So I had also thought that they had taken it and they were just like hiding it from me so I couldn't prove that she was a resident. And then that's when I was talking to her, I was trying to get her to calm down. That's when they finally looked through the system a third time, and that's when they said that they could finally let her go, but they weren't gonna let her go until she calmed down.
I was still screaming and crying. I couldn't come down because I said, how can I come down after you hurt me and then you did all these things to me? And they said, well, and I was asking why, and they said, we're gonna explain to you after we're gonna uncuff you, and then we're gonna explain to you if you come down. And I couldn't come down, so I finally started crying like less, and they uncuffed me, and they said when I asked again why, and they said because people lie to them all the time, but they didn't ask for. When they uncuffed me, I showed them, here's my card. You didn't even ask for it in the beginning. So I think what there is not true. What they're doing, that supposedly doing their job, is not that they're coming from criminals. Like, they didn't have anything to me. I just saw that I was going on a van. They probably thought that I had more people with me, because why would they run to the other side of the door and try to open the door to see if there was more people in there? So that's not that's all the explanation they said, because they lie, and that's all. They left me there, see if I, not even if I was okay, no, nothing. They just left. So it's really that that's really scary. That's scary. And they didn't want me to panic. How did they not expect me to panic after they did all they did? So I think it's very scary. Now I'm sure that the pain is gonna go. Like, I'm still getting better, but it's gonna go. But the chaos, like the trauma, she got hurt. She fell. They flashed the light at her. She fell down. She scraped her knee, and her ankle, and the way she was. That's no, it's not. I don't think that's legal what they're doing. That's all I was going to say.
Thank you guys both so much for coming out here and sharing your experience. I could not imagine just watching that video myself last week. I just really feel for you guys, and I'm so sorry for what happened. You guys are very, very, very strong. So I want you to know that. So thank you for sharing your guys' side of the story as well. Thank you.
So much.
I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I know it's getting really late.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Have a good night.
you too. Thank you.
Might express peach on the registered card. I think Miranda was like, prohibited if you still got any energy left.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
I need to go going, but I have, so I would love to talk with you. I know I told you
Whoa.
about the and
Oh,
we'll
my
talk
back.
about it, but if you want to kind of be part of our rapid response team.
Oh my god.
So locally we have like a chat group. So these are folks.
If you
that,
see
like,
text,
so
I'll
let's say
just...
if a member calls you and you're getting in the car, like so, and then I'll put it. You can signal.
I tried explaining to her a little bit, but I'm still like.
Well, I'll be back in town on Friday, so I'll stop by this. But
We're in B block, so technically don't call in, but I just want to call to see if I can get in contact.
Also want to just have the spot since people are desperate for IFB.
Yeah.
white people are going to a near at home scene. But you have so here's the chat. You could just message on.
OT?
Yeah.
Yeah. So even if it's a rumor, I'd rather go away and get something online. That's a good day when it's
By chance.
so I know you want to go on. So
That's always hard. I can be out for like hours at a time.
all right, what
I
is it?
can't.
So I'm excited. I'm really glad that this is not very I'll keep in touch.
My body is
Got
just...
my number, so reach out.
It does like...
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you go.
I'm not getting anything from Billy. We're in B block, I'm not 100%. Posted on Twitter.
What?
The visual. To do my job. Like they're telling you to do. I want to... Oops.
Can you take like 2 big steps forward?
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Sweet. But like in a Scottish accent, and I want to send that to Caitlin and be like, I'll post it on Twitter. He said, like, he says it in a very deep Scottish accent. I don't, like, it's top tier. Sweet. Cottage Grove, Friends of Democracy. Yippee. Hi, Gold. So the vigil has come to an end, but I have learned a lot of things since I have been here tonight. There were plenty of people that were here. I'd say over around 60, 70, 80 people around that area. People came here. The mother and the daughter in that video that you just saw spoke tonight as well. Now, the group Cottage Grove, Friends of Democracy were the ones who put on this vigil, specifically, again, to show their response to what happened here last week when it came to the ICE incident that you just saw in that video. Now, this video that is taken by the Rural Organizing Project shows a person being detained by ICE here in the Cottage Grove area. This vigil had speakers talking about the people who were detained, again, that mother and her daughter, the mother being detained in that video and the daughter watching, as well as the current whereabouts of where they are, which was then followed by the vigil and a moment of silence. And again, we heard from that mother and that daughter, and I just spoke with them, and they talked about their fear that they went through of being detained by ICE and what that was like, and that trauma that they're experiencing still now when it comes to going out and just trying to live their regular everyday lives. That's what I've learned since I've been here at the vigil. Back to you in the studio, Gold.
Nice work.